Hi, it's Empress Rose, and welcome to our collective reading. Take what works, leave what doesn't. Any interaction with the channel is wonderful. It keeps the channel visible. So likes, emojis, shares, subscribes, also just commenting and liking other people's comments is also really wonderful too. I love that. I love to see that. All right, well, this week I decided I'm gonna just go straight to doing it on camera again. So we'll jump there. So we've got Moonology up first. Do we have Moonology up first? Does Moonology actually want to say anything? Yes, it did. Anything else? No. Okay. And actually, we're just going to move over to Urban Crow as well. What do you have for us, Urban Crow? These are the storytellers. They really get the story started. Very exciting energy. At least somebody wants to talk. All right. All right. And then we're going to do something a little bit different. I have this Journey to the Goddess Realm deck, and it's all these little goddesses. So I'm going to spread it out. I'm going to pick one for the beginning of the reading right here. And then I'm going to pick one for your to-do list later, but I'm going to leave it upside down on the desk. All right. Okay, what do we have? Okay, well, this seems valid. Emotions are running high. Yeah, it's no secret how you feel about something. It's there. It's right in your face. You can see all the craters, all the holes, all the scars. Emotions are running high. Wow, super moon. Big fat moon right there. It's very clear. It's very obvious. And it might not just be your emotions. It might be other people really expressing very clear emotions. It's very obvious how they feel. You know, there's no guessing game here. You know how they feel. There's nothing hidden. It's right out on the surface. So this is just interesting how these ones landed on the, or came out onto the table. I think we've got this sense of trap, you know, something you feel trapped, you feel stuck somewhere. You can see all this movement going on outside. You know, there might have been like something comfortable about this. It's like, it's warm inside. And how did you get in here? We know that these people love their crows. Like this, I always think of it as the same house that shows up and whenever we have an interior of a house, it's the same people in this reading. And they love to, they love their crows. And they want the crows to come in. And you did come in. Why? Because it was warm. You needed shelter. You needed some space. It was warm. But now you don't want to be here anymore. Now what was something that was enticing and interesting feels like a bit of a trap. You feel stuck. You have, you know what it's giving? The Selkie card from a couple weeks ago. Like giving up something for something else seemed like the right thing to do at the time. And now you want the something else back. You're sort of stuck and beholden to this agreement or to this situation, which was very appealing at some point. You know, we can't have a trap without you getting something in order to get into it, right? You know, the mouse doesn't enter the trap without the cheese. It's enticing. This is giving devil card vibes of just like something that was kind of easy to get into. It was very enticing. You enjoyed it. And now you're sort of feeling very stuck here. There's got to be a way out. But you're feeling very trapped, very stuck, and not able to move forward and not able to regain what you've lost. Like you made a trade-off and maybe you thought it was going to be a temporary trade-off, but it's lasting a lot longer than you wanted to. So you did get something out of this. But you no longer want it. You're ready to move on and to move forward. And right, so for a piece of cheese, you shouldn't have to give up your whole life. Unless, of course, you're speaking from the mouse's perspective, as someone who has endured mouse invasions, yes, you should give up your whole life for this piece of cheese. But from the mouse's perspective, you're thinking, I wanted a piece of cheese. I shouldn't have to die for that, or I shouldn't have to give up my whole life. So you wanted this warmth. You wanted whatever was being offered in this house. And now they've shut the windows. Oh, there could be an unintentionality to it. They're just trying to be comfortable. They're just trying to take care of their needs. They're shutting the windows. They're shutting the doors. We've got snow outside. They don't want to leave all of this open. But then here you are. Now you're stuck inside. Now you're stuck in the thing. Now you're feeling trapped and stuck, where as long as the windows were open, it was just a nice little thing to come in and go out. And you're waterproof though. So I like this. It's, yeah, this sucks. But you know what? You are designed for, you're designed for the suckage. You're designed to endure this. Like you have an oil, they have oil on their feathers, so the water just goes right off. It doesn't get in. And even underneath, they have down feathers that are insulating them. So it's like, yeah, you may be trapped, but you were a little bit born for this. Like you were made to endure this situation. You have skills, not like made to endure it forever, like, but you do have skills. You have things you can do. You have natural abilities that allow you to not take this personally. And that's really what I started getting towards the end of this card, is we're not taking this personally. These people, they shut their windows. They didn't maybe realize that you were still in the house. Like they shut their windows so that they could be comfortable. This is, do not take this personally. I don't want to say no one's intentionally trapping you, because people do that stuff. But there's no need for you to take it personally. Even if it's meant personally, you don't have to take it that way. You can just be like, I happen to be in this situation. It doesn't feel good. It's not sunny weather, but I can handle it. This isn't that big of a deal to me. Like I can handle this. I've got skills. And then we have preparation. You can see the future. So I almost want to say, like, you know that spring is coming. You know they're going to open these windows again. You know spring is coming. And it's time to prepare for that, right? These crows are preparing for this ferry to dock at this dock. And then all these cars will come off the ferry. They can only go one direction. They're not going to go all over the place. It's a fairly narrow exit, right? So these crows are putting clams and little bivalves all over this this road, this dock, which is going to be a road very shortly. And then these cars are going to go over, they're going to crunch them open, and then we have our meal. And this is the Fauntleroy ferry, and I love it. It's one of my favorite little ferries. It's a very short little trip too. Very fun. And so I've seen these crows. I've interacted with these crows. These guys, I know them. I've seen this. So yeah, fog is clearing, it's lifting, and you're getting a glimpse of what the future holds. And you're not able to jump right now, but you can certainly prepare. No, it's the same reading. No, that we've had for the you're preparing. Oh my gosh. Oh dear. Well, let's see where the rest of it goes, but you're preparing for the future. You can't go right now. You've got special skill sets to wait this out till the clouds clear. And they will clear, and you know that, and you need to prepare for the moment when those clouds clear. You have skills. You feel very strongly about this. I feel very strongly about this reading. There's something that you're feeling very trapped, very trapped. And so I think you're being reminded that you do have special skills. You don't have to take this personally, and you can prepare for the future. For when these windows finally open again, you are going to be so prepared to get out of there. You're watching, you're waiting, you're looking for your opportunity, you're preening, you're making sure your feathers and everything are great. So both of these are internal and or personal protection from the weather. And there is something about being trapped here that might actually be a little bit protective for you. It is winter out there. It could be very uncomfortable for a little crow like you. So, well, I didn't mean that diminutively, but like it could be very uncomfortable. It could be cold. You've got skills to deal with the weather, and you're also, or you can also be like stuck inside. But there's almost a safety factor here. Like this is okay to be trapped right now. But so you personally have skill sets to deal with the situation, and also the situation you're in actually might have some protective value. Maybe not all of it. Like maybe you were hungry and you did get the cheese, right? And now you're stuck. Let's go. It's a humane trap, right? And now you're stuck in this trap for a while until they release you into the wild. So, but you did get cheese, you did get food, and maybe there's an owl out and about, or a cat in the house. Maybe there's a cat in the house, and you being in this little live trap keeps you safe from this cat that otherwise might have eaten you. So that's a little bit with this waterproof. You are actually maybe a little safer than you think, but you're preparing for freedom. You're preparing for a move forward. And then the goddess that's in this situation is Athena. This calls her initiative. She's got an owl here. She's a battle warrior. And she's not afraid to start some stuff. You're preparing, I think, for initiative. Or things are happening. Things are happening. Let me see here. She's card number 5, if that means anything. Found clever ways to maintain justice. That seems important. Slow to anger, but does not back down if negotiation fails. Invented sports so that people could be competitive without being rude. It's almost like sports, I sometimes think, is a really good substitute for wars and stuff like that. It has that whole adrenaline thing, that raw thing, let's get them thing, but nobody dies, or usually. Avoid petty squabbles. That seems very important. But determine which battles are worth fighting. There are some battles worth fighting, and you have to figure that out, what those are. And I think that we've gotten that recently too, is the battles worth fighting. Initiative, integrity, innovator, justice, law, clever, bravery, assertiveness. Yeah. So I like the addition of justice and picking your battles with Athena. She's not just fighting everybody. She's being very choosy. She is a warrior. She is strong. She is a warrior, but she's not wasting her energy on every little squabble. All right. And now moving on to the tarot. We've got Guardian of the Night Tarot, same artist that does the Urban Crow Oracle. From the bottom of the deck, this owl, related to the owl on Athena's arm. I mean, maybe not directly, but death. Oh my gosh, I was talking about the mouse trap and the mouse. And was I saying there was an owl out and about, and then I changed it to cat? But anyway, there's an owl out and about, and being stuck in this trap kept you safe. It was a safe spot. So death, though, big transformations. It's no longer worth holding on to something. You can either fight it or you can submit. It's gonna happen. It's happening. It's already happened. There's already been a change and a transformation and a shift. I'm not sure how aware of that you are. But there may have already been a death, but there is like a release. It's a change. It's maybe even like a holy release from a stuck situation, from a trap, I guess. Oh. It was going to happen anyway, one way or another. There are some witnesses or something. This owl is like an angel, right? It's like the angel of death, though, like transforming something. It's not, it doesn't go on in the manner in which you thought it was going to continue on. Nothing lasts forever, and this is definitely a big change. Past, present, inner landscape. What's at issue? Environment, to-do list, possible outcome. And then we're going to add into the to-do list this card. I'm going to just put it on the bottom so I look at it. No, I'm going to turn it around. No, I'm going to look. Okay. In the recent past, we have King of Cups. Somebody, probably you, was managing their emotions. They were managing them. We have big emotions running high. And then we have this King of Cups here. This is interesting. Yeah, there's difficulty, and then there's preparing for something, maybe even preparing for difficulty. But here we have this King of Cups. It's been like a managing emotions, remaining emotionally balanced. It's somebody here has been able to remain emotionally balanced, stable, working through emotions, managing them, right? He's balancing the cup on his nose here. Love me some orcas. And just kind of like, I want to say ruler of the deep, not in charge, but able to move through a really thick emotional landscape very easily. So this is a person, maybe someone you knew in your past, maybe someone, this could also be, well, with what comes next. See, this is interesting because something's changing here. We have a big change, and I'm almost wondering if it's just the whole reading, like something up at the top is intense and difficult and feels like a trap, but you're made to be able to deal with it. And maybe it's actually kind of a sense of safety. But here we have this King of Cups, full of emotion, intense, strong, deep emotion. And then it's followed immediately by the Two of Cups, which is intense relationship, relating. They're filling each other's cups, right? They still have the cup on the head, up on the crown chakra, which feels very holy, very deeply connected. The cups are on the head. The emotions are, if we think of a hierarchy, the emotions are above are the overseer of the mind. There's something like, which is really good. We want to, be feeling everything in our hearts and then thinking through how we deal with that. So this, in a way, is just illustrating that is the emotions are up here. And then they are above us. They are above. It's just like crown chakra. So, and then we have a crown here too. So there's this emotion that's over. I don't want to say overriding our intellect, but it's taking precedent over. Not over. It is using our mind to understand the emotion, but the emotion is coming first and is a priority, right? Emotions are running high. So high, they're like up here, they're high, they're physically high. The emotions are high, they're up, they're a primary part of this relationship of what's going on here, of this massive change, the emotional aspect of it. And there's someone here that you're sharing these emotions with. It's like the cups are having this honored space. Like, this is the most important thing about the situation is the feelings, right? The feelings are top dog right now. It's like the heart chakra just jumps up and goes above the crown chakra and is up here. So everything coming into the crown chakra is divine. It's like divine emotions, divine feelings. Like, do not dismiss your feelings right now. They are divine, and they are more important than your thoughts right now. They're very important. Like, most of the time we don't want to, be having our emotions run all over the place and run our lives for us. But this is so important. How you feel right now is incredibly important, and how you feel in this relationship or in a conversation is very important. The feelings are primary in this reading. Maybe not 24/7, but in this reading, they're very primary. And you're relating to someone. This is about, there's a relationship, a deep connection. I just love King of Cups next to Two of Cups. And it could just be, the Two of Cups can represent just a conversation. I feel like there's a lot of water under this bridge, and there's maybe some muck and decay and detritus that this is coming out of. That this is coming out of this sort of muck, because we have the lotus, right? No mud, no lotus. We've got the mud is required to grow a lotus. And then we have sort of these two people with maybe a past, with maybe some issues between each other that are relating, having a conversation. It's a very meaningful conversation with a lot of emotion. You could be crying, but it could be that somebody's just emotionally mature enough to have this conversation. Someone's reached, this is emotional maturity. Someone has reached, maybe it's you, has reached some level of emotional maturity where this conversation can now happen. I don't know that that's for everybody, but yeah, the emotions are, and this is a very healing conversation. It's a powerful conversation. I think both people are being very patient with each other. Yeah. And what in your inner landscape, we have 10 of Wands. So we have this, your hopes, your fears, your inner landscape. Oh my gosh, didn't we get 10 of Wands here last time? I think we did last week. You just want it to be done. Just let this be over. You want to put this burden down. You do not want to think about this. You don't want to worry about this. You don't want to feel about this anymore. These feelings maybe have been very oppressive and very difficult to deal with, but there's a sense of wanting release from this. This energetic climb, an energetic climb, and you want it to be over. This sort of difficulty, right? They're going up the ladder. These salmon are going up the ladder around the dam, and they want to get, they're using a bunch of energy. They're going against the stream, and they want to get to the top, to the peaceful lake at the top of the dam, so that they can just chill, so they don't have to work so hard. They're wanting to get someplace. It's very energetic. It has to do with, I want to say it has to do with the muscles, but it has to do with like just wanting the energy to kind of slow down, wanting this energy to be, wanting to be at peace, wanting to be in the placid lake and not in the ladder anymore. You want to get to the top, and you might end up having to work really hard to get to the top, to get to this placid lake where there's peace, there's stability, there's peace and stability. What's at issue is Seven of Swords in reverse. This is interesting. I have rarely seen this as what's at issue. It seems to be being overwhelmed by the opposition. Maybe there's not making time for something, not making space for something, being overwhelmed by the opposition, being overwhelmed. Because in the upright, we have someone who, like, in a way knows their worth, in a way knows what they deserve, what they've earned, right? That's usually how it's seen. It's someone who knows what they've earned, knows what they want, makes space for it, and fights for it, fights for the position they already have that they're entitled to. But this is like being overwhelmed by opposition. Like if you have a position in a relationship, it might be being overwhelmed by other things. This could be not making time for a relationship, not making time for important conversations. But if this is more of a work scenario, but with the cups, it's not feeling that much that way. There's a lot of cups here. There's actually 3 cups, so it almost feels very relationship and very emotional. So this could be not making space or time for somebody or for something, or prioritizing. There is a sense, though, of losing ground here to somebody else or something else, of losing ground and Losing what's yours. I wouldn't say, oh, Seven of Swords. Oh, for Pete's sake. Truth is coming out. Which it makes sense. Like I just went off on something else, not realizing, you know, this is actually what I'm looking at, is Seven of Swords. So sneaky behavior being exposed, truth coming out. Oh, man, wow. I love this card now. But I think that's really important. Like part of me is kind of embarrassed, like, oh my gosh, I misunderstood the card. I misunderstood. I was thinking of Seven of Wands, right? So I think that that message is part of it too, of like thinking something else. It's hard, like I want to like go back and like, but I think it's important to understand that at first glance, this looked like Seven of Wands. She does look like she owns this, but it is Seven of Swords. So yeah. Which is in the upright, people being sneaky, people taking the back way, people working in the shadows. And in the reverse, it's going to be that's being exposed. So I really like that. That is being exposed, or that's being seen, or people are being very direct right now. And maybe that has to do with this conversation where people are being very direct. It could be because I forced the card into a reversal. Actually, I'm going to use my new tarot deck for clarification. Is this more an upright Seven of Swords where we have sneaky behavior, or is this more like the exposure of the sneaky behavior? So I'm going to take a card and I'll take a reversal if you want to get one. It's a reversal. It's my tiny deck. It's Four of, it's not going to focus. It's Four of Pentacles, but it came out in reverse. So a lack of security. So it does seem like maybe there's sneaky behavior or a lack of security. So a lack of security, foolhardiness, not being careful with something. And Seven of Swords in the upright would be being very careful. So it's got to be Seven of Swords reverse. And with the reversal of the Four of Coins, there's a security breach. It came out actually very clearly recently in a personal reading of security breach, like perhaps cybersecurity, something like that. A security breach is happening here. It's risky. There's some kind of risky, maybe the communication is really direct and therefore really risky. Like the conversation you're having with someone in this Two of Cups it's direct. It's direct and it's very risky. In your environment, we have Wheel of Fortune. So it's just like big changes outside of your control. This can be a very lucky card. Look, we have the white owls here too, these death owls. And this shifting of fortunes. Everyone's fortunes are shifting. This is your environment. So you're not doing this. You're not turning this wheel. You're not changing the seasons. You're being subject to a change of seasons, a change of heart, shifts in, yeah, it can be a very lucky card. It can also just be really big changes happening in life in general that are affecting you and are affecting the situation. Yeah, it's pretty much a general card about just the nature of life is things are always changing and always shifting. So there's big shifts and changes coming external to you, and I'm not sure you're driving them. They may be risky changes. Maybe you take a risk and you sort of throw caution to the wind and do something. But there's just this big shift and this big change in your environment. Okay, we're going to get a clarification on that. What is a big shift and change? What is the nature of this big shift and change? Right? And we've got death too, which is big changes that must be submitted to. That's already happened. An ending of some kind or a shift, an ending of a certain part of something. So it could be seasons. Okay, tell us the nature of this Wheel of Fortune. Oh, This is Seven of Cups reverse. Options. Choices. Maybe the choices in front of you are changing, or maybe something, you don't have a choice with this change. Yeah, you're not given an option, you're not giving a choice. It's big changes that it's not confusing. What's changing in your life is not confusing. It's very clear and very open. That's what I'm seeing is this, something is very, oh yeah, Seven of Swords. This is very clear and emotions are running high. It's very clear. It's a little risky. Nobody's playing anything close to their chest right now. This is big, clear risks. Yeah, emotions are running high. Everything's very obvious. Everything's very clear. And then I just noticed Athena also has this full moon in hers, the super moon. It's very clear. Look at the owl energy here. Holy moly. Okay. And then I love this card. So this is part of your to-do list. This is the goddess, Rhiannon, the mystery. Everything turns out in the end. Like, and it's kind of mysterious how it all happens. There's like false accusations. Look, and we've got 3 crows here, and we have the 3 crow cards that came out, the 3 crows here. And that always reminds me of every little thing's going to be all right. 3 little birds sitting on my doorstep, and every little thing's going to be all right. And that's the mystery, is like there's weird shit that happens in Rhiannon's story and false accusations, and eventually the truth comes out, and she just has to live her life with these accusations, this weirdness, all of this crazy stuff going on around her. She doesn't have a choice, but she has to go through it. And somehow it all turns out in the end. This card is beautiful. It's one of my favorite cards to see. Life is a mystery, and things could turn out in the end just fine. And then we have 8 of Cups. This is moving on though. It's more cups. It adds to the intense emotions that are maybe overriding and superseding the mind. But they are divine emotions, make no mistake. They are coming in through the crown chakra. The 8 of Cups is this mystery, this moving on. 8 of Cups to me is, we have like cups, we have water, we have the emotion relationship sign, but signifiers here. But this is all land, and this is a physical movement. This tigress is going to move across land. So sometimes 8 of Cups looks like a physical move to me. So 8 of Cups is all about satisfaction, seeking satisfaction. Oh, look at all these bones down here. Look at all these bones. This tigress has eaten, and now she's hungry again. She's got to go find some more food. So both of these have a journey involved with them. And maybe you end up at the same place. Maybe it's like The Alchemist, where you end up at the back where you were, you know. And what you need is where you were. But you got to go on this journey. You have to go on this trip to find something. Because where you're at is unsatisfactory. It was satisfactory. You wanted everything at some point. What you've got now, you wanted, but you're ready for a new thing. You've had enough to drink, but you're thirsty again. You're hungry again. You've had meals before. You've had many meals, thousands of meals before. That doesn't mean you're never hungry again. So you're hungry again. You're thirsty again. You want to go out and find something better. And this is your to-do list, is to go out, go search for something better. And it's a mystery. Like maybe you end up right where you started, or maybe something else, and it all works out somehow. But yeah, the mystery, it looks like the journey to me with the 8 of Cups. There's a journey involved. So this is your to-do list. Go seek out something better. Go make improvements that will make you happier. Because if you are dissatisfied with something, right, you're dissatisfied where you're at right now, you know that whatever you're feeling right now is very clear, and you're being told to head out and find that other cup, find your next drink, like get another glass of water or whatever it is. Like go get it. Go get the thing that you are wanting, that you think will improve your situation. But there is something very mysterious about this, and very interesting. And maybe you're preparing to go out, but this is saying, or maybe you have been preparing something. This is saying to go in search of greater satisfaction. Don't stay in one spot. That's clear. And maybe you do end up in the same place. I don't know. You know, it's a mystery. Something's unfolding and becoming clearer and clearer. Where there has been trickery, it's becoming exposed. Risky behavior is also an issue here. Security, feeling very insecure is, so go search for it. Yeah, you know how you feel about the situation. And then Ace of Pentacles, looks like you get a new job. Look at this. I could not love this more. This owl and this owl. Now this is Athena's owl. This is the one that Athena does have on her arm right here, is this owl. Initiative. Oh, yes, initiative. Go out and seek something. Take that initiative. And trust in the mystery. Trust that things unfold the way they're meant to. Even though they're very uncomfortable, even though things might seem very uncomfortable or very difficult. Yeah, I think you're being given this Wheel of Fortune, this change is suddenly coming in as like, you don't have a choice. There isn't a choice. It's not very confusing because there isn't much of a choice. Ace of Pentacles, you have a new job. You get a new coworker, you have a new job. It's interesting because we've got a lotus here right at the bottom too. This growth from difficulty. Yeah, if you're dissatisfied with something, and maybe it's not physical, but if you're dissatisfied with something, it's go on the search for something more, which is really interesting because it's sitting under these Two of Cups. And together they make the Ten of Cups. They make the completion. But it's like some sort of conversation or connection with somebody. Maybe you discover, this is like a really fun conversation. And maybe you're looking at your current situation and being like, that's not as fun. I want to go where the fun conversation is. Or maybe, yeah, it's just interesting, this mystery and this Eight of Cups. Is the preparation. What you want isn't here, so it's time to move on. And this Ace of Pentacles, new job, new coworker, new situation, maybe even a new house, a new place to live. It's real. Ace of Pentacles, it shows up with a lot of potential. Something has a lot of potential. And it's matching this Athena energy so much, this initiative, this beginning of something new. This all has a lot of emotional intensity to it, too. Okay, Ace of Pentacles. Oh, I meant to... What is the new thing? What is the Ace of Pentacles? What part of life is it about? Could be money, how you spend your time. Sometimes the pentacles can be health, like renewed health maybe, or a new health regime. What do we have? 11 of Wands. Well, that doesn't make sense. Okay. I'm going to take 11 of Wands, exhausted, tired. You know, we have this 10 of Wands is what you want, but this... Okay, what else about this Ace of Pentacles? Reverse, oh, that makes more sense. And I'm wondering if this came out reverse. I think reverse is the 9 of Wands here. Reverse would be not feeling tired, feeling very renewed. But we did get, I paid more attention when I pulled this one out. We did get the reverse 8 of Swords. So that's going to be releasing yourself. That is getting out of the trap. You are not trapped. This new thing comes in and you are not trapped. And because of, I mean, I think it's both. I think your situation is changing. I think you're needing to take initiative and change something. And then this new thing bursts, you're not tired anymore. You have renewed energy and you're not trapped anymore. And you were trapped here. And this in the upright is the trapped card, but you're only trapped in your mind. So this is take some initiative and free your mind. Oh yeah, it's but it has it's in the physical world, where I was going to say emancipate yourself from mental slavery, but this is very physical. You are sprung from the trap. You are going to be sprung from the trap, and you're meant to take initiative, prepare for that. You have skills here. You're built for this. You can handle this. Okay, we're going to take a feather. This is wild, because when I was preparing these cards from a different deck, we got parrot also. Parrot, let go of others' thoughts and opinions, right? With Rhiannon, with these accusations, these thoughts, these opinions, it's time to embrace who you really are. Ook. I love this. It's time to embrace who you really are. So parrot can be taught to repeat things, scripts, narratives. You're like this, you're like that, you're like this. Other people telling you that. Make sure your words are your words and not the word, and you're not just borrowing them from your parents or borrowing them from your boss, or, they're your words and they're coming out of your mouth. So make sure they're connected to your heart and your brain. And don't worry what other people are thinking about this. Don't worry what other people will say. This is you. This is your life, your words. All right. And then one last card. Armadillo spirit, set healthy boundaries. Interesting, that feels like it's a little out of the blue. It's interesting, there's this whole emotional aspect to it, and then some sort of real world aspect. So set healthy boundaries, especially if there's been sneaky behavior that's exposed. If there's a sense of no choice, or things just changing in a way that isn't going to work for you, if there's that sense there, then you would be wanting to set some healthy boundaries. Even though you may not have a choice overall, you may have you may have to set healthy as good as you can. Armadillo, protection, shielded, a shielded energy. Oh, well, that's a little bit of these feathers. These feathers are waterproof. You're waterproof. Set healthy boundaries. Don't let this get to you. Don't let something get under your feathers, under your skin. Don't let it get to you. Emotional health and well-being. Interesting. All right, I hope that was helpful. Thank you for joining me, and I'll talk to you guys next time. Have a great week.